Hi, here is my presentation on gifted students. What will be covered in my presentation: a definition on what is a gifted child, asynchronous development, socio-emotional needs, and asynchronous development, observable characteristics of socio-emotional characteristics of gifted and high-performing students, and understanding gifted and high-performing students, and being gifted in one or more content areas. So what is a gifted child? A student is gifted when their knowledge or abilities are above what they should know at their current age. Also, these students are academically above their peers, and they have a high, or they're very cognitively high. A child can be gifted in many ways, for instance, through leadership, creativity, intelligence, artistic, or even within a specific subject like math, science, English, history, those sorts of things. Schools now use many different ways to measure if a student is gifted, like through spatial, visual, mathematic, verbal, interpersonal, and music. And all of these are under the multiple intelligences. They are fast learners, so they can hear information once or twice and remember it. Usually, they have a big vocabulary, which is like above where their age. They're very focused and alert, even from a young age, and they can keep their concentration. They're able to understand more abstract ideas, and their attention spans are longer, and they have a wide range of interests. What is asynchronous development? It refers to a gifted child who is developing at an uneven pace when it comes to their physical intelligence and emotional development at their specific age. So, for instance, if they're 10, maybe their intelligence is above that, but then their emotional and physical development is at their age level. So, for their emotional control or development, just because a child is gifted, it doesn't mean that their emotional control will match their academic level if they're academically high. So, for example, an 8-year-old who is academically gifted will still emotionally be at 8 years old. That many teachers and parents think, oh, just because my child is reading at a 10th grade reading level, I can I can treat them at that age. We still need to realize that my child is 8 years old. That's where their emotional development is at. And then physical development, same as emotional development, but just with physical development. So realizing where they are age-wise and what developmentally they are going through at that stage in their life, and to help gifted students through their asynchronous development, which I'll go over more on the next slide. Make sure they're getting emotional support as well as being challenged academically, and then also provide opportunities for other gifted students to socialize with each other. So socio-emotional needs and asynchronous development. So as I said on the last slide, provide time for gifted and high-performing students to socialize with each other, because this will give them the time to connect and socialize with students who are similar to them, and so they can really kind of connect with other students who have gone through or feel the same as they do, because gifted students can feel very isolated within their class because they know they are very high functioning and very smart, and so connecting them with other students who are similar to them can help them with their socio-emotional needs. Along with being academically challenged, gifted students need to be socio-emotionally supported, and I feel like that's something that gets overlooked with teachers and students, that we see a student academically and they don't always get that emotional support that they're needing and craving. Recognize that socio-emotionally or social emotional development and intelligence won't always match their age, and to respond accordingly. So if knowing that a child is 5, so in kindergarten, and reading at a 3rd or 4th grade level, but still making sure that they're getting the social and emotional support of their age, and then giving them the support, understanding, and guidance. Observable socio-emotional characteristics. So here's just a short list. So they're very enthusiastic. They can get frustrated when it comes to academic performance. It plays into them being perfectionists. They have high expectations for themselves and others. They can be a little impulsive. Feelings can be hurt easily, and they need emotional support. Heightened self-awareness and feeling different, because they know that they are very bright, and they can recognize that within themselves. They have a lot of perseverance, and as I mentioned a minute ago, they are perfectionists. And then understanding gifted or high-performing students when it comes to being gifted in content areas. So there are students who maybe are only gifted in 1 or 2 content areas, which plays into, like, as I mentioned earlier in my presentation, Garner's theory of multiple intelligences, that everyone learns differently, and can be predisposed to be more high performing in 1 or 2 areas. So being very good with, or being very mathematical, or being a very visual learner, or spatial. And then gifted students, where they're gifted, can play into their interests. And then no child can be gifted within all areas, but they can be gifted in many of them. And then just to wrap up, just like students who are performing below or at grade level, Gifted students need to be supported academically and emotionally. Gifted students need to be challenged so they don't get bored or create behavior issues within the class. Parents and teachers need to also support gifted students emotionally, so make the connection between that gifted student's emotional development, that it might not match their intelligence, and just give them that support. So that's it. Thank you.